story mode, dude.
As long as Nemesis reveals himself, it'll be a 10.
Okay. I believe that.
Interesting to see Injustice versus MVC this year. Who's going to reign supreme?
Injustice.
Oh yeah.
Probably Injustice.
All right, so the
But Injustice
Patron
has that
post
armor
is
thing.
live. We are live on YouTube.
Tekken 7 is going to beat them all.
If somebody, while I get the questions pull up, if somebody, no, we're good. Never mind. We're good to go. We're on YouTube. I can see us. There's nobody in chat yet, but that's okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the April question and answer session for $20 and up patrons. We're going to be taking your questions. They can be about anything. They can be about video games. They can be about us. As long as they're relatively appropriate, we'll try to tackle them. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody feeling about answering stuff?
Pumped.
Pumped?
Feeling
Sound
good.
pumped. See, there we go.
Ooh, there's a
Kyle
Damiani.
sounded pumped. We don't have a Damiani. We had to.
Still right there.
Yes, we do.
Oh, there he is.
Like he was always there.
He arrives late, but he's here. Hi, Damiani. How you doing?
Good. Sorry, my
Good.
clock says 12. So.
Oh no, it's all right.
Nice.
No. Damiani, say one more sentence.
Hi, how you doing, Kyle?
In the background, we see a clock that says 12:05, man.
Oh.
You see it behind your shoulder that says 12:05.
My computer right here says 12 o'clock on the bottom right. I'll screen
You're
share
still
it with
supposed to
you.
be in early, but
Yeah, we do try to show up a little bit early to get tech issues sorted out, but we have everybody here. We have the 9. We're gonna be taking some questions. We're gonna roll right on through this.
And there's 8 of us.
We got the
we
8.
don't have Don for these.
Oh, we don't have Don. Don doesn't do these. That's right. I feel
You should
bad
come
about
up with
that.
a name for the 8, you know? The 8 is one thing, the 9 is something else.
I feel like what would be a step down? Because the 9 sounds like it has a presence. What would
It's
the
like-
8 be?
Well, it's like if we're Voltron, it's kind of like Dawn is the sword, you know? So like we can still kick ass, you know, without the sword. We get some melee and some grapples.
Mhm.
But you get the sword when we have the power of Dawn.
One time there was a Power Rangers episode where the Pink Ranger, who was just a part of the chest, flew off and did a whole different thing, and they had a fine fight without her. And it kind of negated every other fight they ever had with the Pink Ranger on the chest.
Damn. Let's get those questions going.
That Power
Someone
Rangers.
just
work.
became a $20 patron to be on this Q&A.
Whoa.
Oh,
nice. That's
really?
so cool.
Is that what's happening in
question
chat? Oh,
was
hey,
not
everybody. I see you all.
addressed.
The
What's
8 is
going on?
everyone else. Don is Easy Allies, and we're just
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We're giving that interpretation.
We're all assistants to Dawn.
Our first question today comes in from a very familiar name that I know generates some excitement amongst the allies. Mike Hook. First
Okay.
question of the session. He says, hey, allies. How do you feel about cheating in single-player video games? I'm excluding codes that the developers threw in, like the Contra code, but does it bother you when someone plays The Witness with a puzzle-solving guide, never once using any I'm just reading the question, using any critical thinking and blasting their way through the game? Does it bother you if someone uses a mod in Dark Souls where they can never die? Is this even considered cheating when there aren't any other players? Do you care if they are cheating themselves from experiencing the game the way that it was meant to be experienced?
Play how
I
you
don't
want
mind.
to play.
Play how you want
Yeah.
to play.
I
Man.
think it doesn't.
In the case of Dark Souls, you're just cheating yourself.
Yeah.
Sure, but like in the privacy of your own home, like I don't
Right.
care. You know,
I might not agree with
versus
it.
Versus other people, you know, like if you pay money to get a high level character in Warcraft and all you do is run around and make the experience awful for other people, then like that sucks.
Right.
But if you're breaking Dark Souls on your PC in your house and have
Also,
fun
if
doing it,
you're-
like, go for it.
If you're judging a game negatively, but you like cheated in it, that's weird to me. If you have,
Yeah.
if you like,
That's a good
say-
exception.
That's a
Yeah.
good
Right.
point to bring up, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you
if
say-
Kyle hated The Witness, then we'd be like, Jacques Hughes.
Right.
Well,
I love
it's just running around spewing a bunch of hate, but you didn't have
Right.
the experience that a lot of other people had. But yeah, I tend to agree with Jones. Like if you're in the privacy of your own home, it's your own game. Why should anybody judge you for how you play it? Do what you
Yeah.
want to do.
Yeah.
In Dragon Age Origins, I turned the spiders into little dinosaurs. I don't care what anybody thinks. Made the game better for me.
Is that real?
Yeah, I did that. Cute little dinosaurs.
That's fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah.
Is that a mod?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a mod.
So
I think
this is a thing where like you just hate dinosaurs, and so you really just wanted to murder them.
No, he hates spiders.
No.
So he wants to turn them into
Spiders.
cute little dinosaurs.
Oh, Kyle
He
knows.
Jones,
actually.
yeah,
we
he's-
are Jones, we are not on the same page with our jokes today.
Sorry.
You guys are-
Early in the Q&A.
You guys are out of sync recently.
Bazinga.
Not drift compatible anymore.
Not drift compatible.
Damiani, sorry, go ahead, Blood. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I think a good example is the P-Wing, Mario Brothers 3. Like if you P-Winged your way through that game and you said you beat it, it's like, come on.
You gotta find those P-Wings,
you
Blood.
flew
That's
over
an
the
item
levels.
in the game that
that's
you
the
can
meta.
use
I mean,
or
that's the meta.
save.
That's not a cheat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just they built that into the game. They knew.
You better
Yeah,
save that
that's an
P-Wing
in-game
for
cheat.
World 8.
It's like how in Nier Automata you can just downstrike everything and then hack everything and then you just win.
Or like the first Mario Brothers has the jump, like that one little jump that you can do up and down to get like tons of points and then like 99 lives. Like that's not a cheat if you can pull that off. Like the minus world is not a cheat if it helps you finish that game. It's in there. That's a feat.
Yeah.
That's not a cheat.
Well, they are both. And like Contra Code, man, like you kind of need that. You need those lives.
Yeah, if you're a filthy cheater, Blood.
Yeah.
Just practice.
I remember John Vignacchi being like sad when I told him that I created a machine that would just level up the Infinity characters. He's like, "That's
my
how you
God,
level
I
them
remember
up."
that.
I'm like, "I built it in the game, John. I built it using the tools you put in the game."
Yeah.
You know,
Now, John.
they had a podcast, and at the end of every podcast, they said, "If you can dream it, you can do it." And I was like, "I dreamed it, and I did it, John." Like,
You're
it's the
why
dream.
they pulled the
Yeah, you
plug
shut
on
him down,
Infinity.
Jones.
Vignacchi was
Yeah,
like, I've made a terrible mistake. And
That's what it was. It wasn't that I, bought all of this stuff. It's that, I leveled it up incorrectly. was the
Damiani,
deal
how do you feel about cheating in single-player games?
I'm the same opinion as you, Ben. I don't
Okay.
care. As long as you don't do anything online, I don't
Yeah.
care what you do with it on your own time. Also, I'm curious to think how Blood thinks real quick. I know the P-Wings are rewarded after you beat the game. How do you feel about people who, like me, who get the cape in Super Mario World and just fly over all the stages? Like when playing through it. Like that's clearly an intended item in the game, doing what
Sure.
it was designed to do, and like I would fly over entire worlds and skip all the difficult platforming and stuff, and like, well, that's is that fair?
That's
That
fun
takes-
in the game, not in the Damiani.
That takes a bit of skill for one to be able to do it, but also, again, it comes back to what you do with it. Like if you're going around, talking about how great you are for beating the game, and it's like, well, actually, you just flew over all the levels, you didn't see the game, and now you're like, chop chop, I'm done with it. It's like, no, go back and like see what was actually down there.
But that's what I like about Super Mario World is you kind of can't do that. There's a lot of secrets. Like you wouldn't be able to get the color blocks. Like I remember there's some levels where I would try that and just like slam right into a wall and have to like get a key to go through someplace. Good game.
Are we ready for our next question?
Yes.
All right, this is from Caesar. He says, fellow patron Robert submitted the question below for our Love and Respect segment. It didn't get picked up, but I liked it, so I asked it here on his behalf. This is from Robert. A friend and mentor of mine once said that you can take something from every job, from stacking shelves to a paper run to an admin role. You always develop transferable skills. What non-industry jobs have prepared you in some way for Easy Allies?
Communication.
Yeah.
What
Big
job
time.
specifically with communication?
Serving. Working in restaurants. Just always like letting people know, like, I don't know. Just communication with you guys too. And like trying to keep everyone abreast of my situation with my work all the time. Like keeping constant updates.
Never hurts. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like it's like a big loop. Like everything just feeds back into everything else. It was like I was helping with short films and stuff with people that were at my church. Like I wasn't even a film guy. I was just like getting involved into things that seemed interesting, and that's what basically led to my first role in the industry, like getting paid for, and then the stuff that I did over the years at G4 and GT, eventually led to me getting involved on the live production side at church and gave me a bunch of different skills for that I didn't expect to have. So it's just, like it all circles in and out for me. It's all connected pretty well. Spreadsheets too.
Spreadsheets.
A lot of spreadsheets before Easy Allies, and I use them to keep things organized for E3 and for release dates and all that kind of thing.
You've kind of made me learn to love the spreadsheet a little bit, Bloodworth. I hated them before Easy Allies. I like even just looking at an Excel sheet. But you've put them to very, very good use in terms of like game releases and our own production schedule and stuff. I've had to lean on it quite a bit. Yeah, selling video games. What I've learned is you can't approach everybody the exact same way. When I would try to describe something to people, depending on how interested they were in games, what type of games they were interested, you kind of had to take a different tact. Maybe you were more enthusiastic to some people, or you had to back off a little bit. And so that was an interesting skill, just seeing like what different people respond to and what they don't. That was valuable for me, for sure. Kind of reading the room, I guess. Anybody else? Brad, you got any skills that you want to talk about?
Sure. When I was a hairstylist, I learned communication, or like how to communicate with people way easier and everything like that. Just how to be more outgoing, because we have a very out there job where we're talking to people all the time, and I would say me talking to strangers helped with all that.
I think working at game trailers for a bunch of years was really helpful in learning how to deal with these crazy yahoos. That was good, because that's a skill.
Yeah,
that's a
So
skill.
you're saying working with us previously made it easier for you to deal with us now?
Yeah.
Well, there were lots of other crazy yahoos that came and went at game trailers.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of crazy yahoos. Yeah. Editing, which is also what I do now, but like editing for a animation company back in the day, editing for like the San Jose Sharks, for like their intro to their hockey season that would like play up on the boards, and I'm like cutting hockey footage.
You did that,
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, I did that for like 2 or 3 years. I cut the Rangers, I cut the Clippers, I cut the a bunch of people.
What?
Yeah. We had a bunch of stuff in New York.
Awesome.
I've told you about Grand Slam trivia, right? Where the celebrities would answer trivia questions in Yankee Stadium. I did that for like a year. That's why, like, when Don Rickles died, I was like, I remember Don Rickles Grand Slam trivia. It was great. He was pissed, man. He was not happy to be doing that. Yeah, R.I.P. Don Rickles. But one of the best things that I will always take from doing that was establishing early on, before I would sit down for a creative project, being like, am I just doing this for a job, or am I actually creatively involved in this? Because what would happen a lot is we would be working with clients, and they'd be like, well, what do you think? And I'm like, I'm the editor. I don't care. Like, I'm here to produce what you want. Don't ask me like what shot do you think is better? It's just like I would literally flip a coin. I don't care. I want to produce the thing that you want. Stop asking me what I want. Whereas, like, if I'm creatively involved, like everything I do with Easy Allies, it's like, no, I'll definitely have an opinion. Most of the time. Some shows at Easy Allies, I'm like, do your thing.
But an editor is a creative job, Jones. It's an art job.
It is, but it's very easy as an editor to get like, I want to change the song, and you're like, oh, really? And it's like that distance to be like, I don't care, sure. Like
yeah.
Because I would deal with people that literally I have to go through 40 tracks before you'd finally find the music track. And they're like, which one do you like? And I'm like, I'm not the problem. Clearly, you have no idea what you want. When I'm getting
producers,
it's nothing. Yeah. They're just
producers never know what they want.
That like, I'm not going to let this get to me. I'm not going to think like they're ruining this project I'm working on, because I have no creative attachment to it. I'm like, this is your baby, whatever. Where sometimes it's different. Sometimes it's like, oh, this is a creative idea. This is interesting. This is unusual. I haven't worked on something like this before, so I'm going to put more of myself into it. Because that can you can get pissed if creatively you're working on something that falls apart and you're like, I got attached to that.
Jones, people want to see some examples. They want you to post that early editing.
The Hornet stuff? Oh, boy.
The Hornet stuff, yeah. That's what they want to see. Do it for the people.
I'll see if I can
post it. If there's a way to link to it.
Yeah, we don't have the rights to that.
I think I still have some DVDs lying around. I can maybe do like a Cup of Jones or something. I don't know.
We could stream it and then destroy the recording.
Yeah, sure.
Now you're thinking, Kyle, I like it.
I like it too.
Delete the evidence.
Our next question, it's not really a question, it's from Michael. It's more of a comment just about how wonderful this year is. He says, hello, Easy Allies. A while ago, Ace 8 was announced for a fall release for Europe and North America. This makes me wonder if 2017 might be the best video game year ever, with games such as Zelda Breath of the Wild, Persona 5, Ace 8, Dragon Quest 11 in Japan, Ni no Kuni 2, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. a North American and European release for East Origin, Super Mario Odyssey, Seikiden Densetsu Collection in Japan, and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, to mention a few. So that's it. That was the whole comment. How are you guys feeling about this year?
Was Yakuza mentioned in that?
Yakuza was not mentioned. Keen ear.
There are 2 Yakuza games.
No Nier either.
No Nier was mentioned.
No Nier.
No Gravity
No,
Rush.
like 2
no Gravity
supposedly
Rush.
still happening.
Yeah. But I think he was just trying to convey.
Persona 5, I believe, is a video game that came out in 2017.
He said that.
I think he did say
Yeah.
Persona
Did you
5.
say Persona 5?
Yeah. So
Neo also
we
came
can't
out this
entirely
year?
disown it.
Horizon Zero Dawn came out this year.
Yeah.
Y'all remember when we did top 10 years
Sure.
as a countdown?
Yes.
I don't remember that. What did we
top
say
10 years.
1998 was the best?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did actually. That was number 1.
Yeah.
Where do you think this would place on that list?
And that's what I was trying to think of.
I honestly think already it's top 5. I'm not
Yeah,
kidding.
it'd be
I think
like
it might be top 3.
Sure. I'd say
If we
third.
just bowed out right now, it would still beat other years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's more to come.
Yeah.
If Red
Super
Dead
Mario
comes out this year,
Odyssey
it's probably
alone.
like second.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. If Odyssey's bad and Red Dead is bad, it's really going to hurt the year.
They're not going to
yeah.
be bad.
Shatter the year.
It's
Yeah.
impossible.
I just really don't think they're going to be bad.
Yeah, I don't think
they're going
I
to
just really
0% chance they'll be bad.
I'm searching all over my body for reasons why those would be bad, and I'm like, no, anything.
Is
trying to
that how you
legacy
review
too.
games, Brendan? Do you just search your body?
You
and
search your
come up
body.
with a score?
Just like in my little toe, I got a something.
It's a 4.
That's a 3.5. Yeah, I mean, when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out in August, that'll be cool, and then we'll get all of the Final Fantasy VII remake on top of Red Dead and Super Mario. It'll be fun. All right, our next question. This one's a lot more serious, so put on your serious caps. Think hard. This is from Ulf. He says, "Hey allies, we're about a month into the second year." Well, this is when he wrote this. We're about a month into the second year of Easy Allies, and it's time for some reflection. First, I would like each of you, or as a group, if you feel that it takes too long, I think we can do individually. I think we've got time for that, to think of something in the last year that you feel you did really well. Now, think of something about this thing that you feel didn't go as planned or that you think could be improved upon. Second, think of something you feel wasn't a success or didn't turn out exactly as you would have hoped. This time, look for something that was really good about it and that you think should be kept as is or brought over to other projects. In my opinion, as an example of the first one is streams. I think it's amazing how much you've expanded your Twitch content since the first couple of weeks. However, I wish that every stream, not just group streams and a few others, went live about 10 minutes before the scheduled start of the stream with an EZA splash screen or similar saying starting soon. That gives people time to receive the email notification and join in time even during impromptu streams. So does anybody have anything that they feel really strong about and then want to recognize a sort of weak aspect of that, and then conversely a thing that you think you didn't do very well but a strong aspect of that?
I think this should be voluntary. Like, don't force yourself to.
Wait, so
Pick
something
one.
we think we did good about, then something we don't think we did good about?
But
And
try
some-
to see the opposite of both situations.
Yeah.
Just expand your horizons.
I mean, the easy one for me is that one stream that we had that was really bad. Where we were
Yeah.
like fighting and disinterested in the game, and like everything was weird and bad and stuff. But then the good thing, I wouldn't take that stream away because a lot of good came out of it, like some suggestions from the community and a lot of changes in our back end and stuff. And now I think things are better technically and stuff. So that's one like that.
I got a super what is it? Fickle. I was finicky. I was like, finicky's not a word. This might seem really silly, but man, it's gonna haunt me until the day I die. The end of the Dark Souls 3 review, the audio track is cut off. But like the way with YouTube, like you can't replace that link, and that link went up like on embargo. So it was like, sorry, Jones, like that's it. That's the version. Like we can't replace because we didn't notice it until later or something. It's basically it's going to be there for all eternity, and I can show you a correct version of it right now. But like attached to that thing with that many downloads on the channel on the date when it's like we can't replace. So it's just. To never export something unless I'm absolutely sure. Because I've also had that happen with podcasts and stuff where like I'll just hit undo and I'll forget the second to last undo that I did. And I'll just be like, undo, and then fix the thing I'm working on, not realizing I've changed something weird elsewhere in the sequence before I export. All right, I'm done. It sucks to make mistakes like that and then just stare at them forever.
True. But what's a good thing about that?
Well, no, the good thing is I've learned.
Don't do it again.
Always do that once over. Always check something that even if you're pretty sure that everything looks clean, just give it a once over.
Don't be sorry, just don't do it again.
Right.
I've got two really quick. Something like, I guess we should start positive. Something that I feel like I'm a little better at than early Easy Allies days and early GT days is just hosting discussions and formatting discussions and trying to get people more involved. I think I've come a long way there. I still get a little anxious in front of the camera. And again, like I started game trailers thinking that I wasn't ever going to be in front of a camera. And so to finally be at a point where, I can do this and it's not a big deal for me, where I can just do it and feel comfortable. I'm really happy with that. It feels like I reached a good point. But something that I was bad at and I want to be better at is there's so many projects that I want to do and things that I get so enthusiastic about, and then I'm bad at spacing them out or evenly spending my time on all of those things, where I'll get so excited about something new and I'll put all my energy into that, and then other things will kind of go by the wayside and they're not getting the proper time and attention that they deserve. And so being better about how I spend my time and where I spend it when is something that I'm trying to be better at, trying to be more conscious of. Anybody else? Brad, Huber, Kyle?
I'd say I'm glad with that I started doing reviews actually and writing more and kind of like taking on that challenge. But I definitely need to get faster at it and everything, and just get better at editing and everything like that comes with it.
Cool.
So go ahead, Hubert.
So when I started Huber Syndrome, logistically, it's a lot harder to do than back at Game Trailers because we had a studio. And I could film one episode a week, but now because I do it with Don and because we do stuff out of our house, we have to do like batches of episodes. And that bummed me out for the first couple months because one of my favorite parts about Huber Hype was doing the questions or doing the comment section at the end of every episode relating to the previous episode. So I wanted to find a way to like have those conversations still. So that's where Talking Syndrome came in. But even now, like some of the comments from Talking Syndrome are people watch it after the fact. They aren't there live. So it's hard for them to follow along. So I'm like really, really, really trying to get better at hosting and phrasing that show in a way to make it enjoyable for the live viewers and the people that watch it later. But it's hard. So just trying to get better at that. It's my number one task.
Anybody else?
My least favorite thing I did for Easy Allies in year one is the TGS betting special. This is the one where the rules are pretty weird. Brad won for no reason.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, when it was clearly Ian made the best bets, but the rules were stupid. That was my least favorite for a number of reasons. Yeah, I'm mad about the rules, but also I was mad that it didn't feel like an event. You know, we streamed the betting special itself, and then we streamed the results. And betting specials are meant to feel like something. And so I can definitely say that I think you can tell since then we've really tried to correct all the mistakes I made with that. So again, yeah, that was one that I learned a lot from, and something that I keep in mind. I keep that one in mind when I'm trying to come up with the next thing is like, don't do that TGS betting special again. Make it feel like a thing. Make sure the rules are clearly communicated, that they all make sense and things like that. I try to work really hard on that. Something that I like a lot that I did last year is the Bossman v. Wozniak streams. And I think you'll see what I want to do differently in the successor stream. You'll see. Keep an eye out. That stream ends in 7 weeks. 7 more weeks of Bossman v. Wozniak.
Whoa.
Why does it end?
I'm starting a new thing on Friday nights.
Oh.
Is this the first time you've said that?
No. I said that a while ago. I
Okay.
said that I gave 10 weeks advantage. 10 weeks of
Notice.
panic. Yeah.
Nice.
Matt,
So you're gonna not do it?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop doing Bossman Wozniak.
I mean, like, are you gonna beat Wozniak?
It's going to be Huber v. Bossman next. I'm going to play Tetris. Get that high score.
Yeah.
That'd be really funny. Huber just tries to beat my high score. That'd be so cool.
but it would be so brilliant,
mad.
Bossman, and very like Andy Kaufman-esque if like Kyle could actually do it the whole time. Like he's actually capable of beating that score. He does it to death, like whenever he feels like it, but has just been cheesing the audience like the entire time.
Mhm.
And then just like on a whim, like does it at the end of the last episode, just doesn't say anything, stares in the camera, stops the stream, and everyone's like, ah.
Jones, that would be a beautiful
Fingers crossed.
thing, but I have to say, like, part of why Bossman v. Wozniak works, I think, is that it's like just my genuine, my core self struggling as hard as he can, and so I think that I could not even act that well to actually like pull that off. I am putting up the best scores I possibly can in that moment, and yeah, that's why that works, I think.
Kyle, can we talk about personal bets really quick?
Sure.
A bet that I really liked that ended up working really well is when I got the Battletoads thing wrong and I had to do that challenge.
Oh my God, Ben.
And that was such a fun stream. I had a great time with it, just cutting it off at the end. I want to do more things like that where I can accomplish them in a couple of hours and not like build a Titan costume.
Yeah, I was just
need
going to say,
yeah, I was
that
gonna say.
costume.
Ben, you could
happening?
accomplish that in a couple hours. Get to
You
work.
could.
Yeah, we don't want you to work on that for a week. We want you to make
Right.
a really bad one.
We
in a
want you to
couple of
slap
hours.
it together.
I'm just
Oh my God,
saying.
that's
I'm
great.
just the point I'm trying to illustrate is make more reasonable bets. Don't just get immediately excited and then tie myself to something that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me having to do kung fu for an hour was pretty good too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
an hour is a good length of time.
Oh, I forgot the Avatar bet. I'll put it in next week.
We lost Jones.
Oh.
There he
There
is.
he is. But
Jones, we
yeah,
lost you.
Sorry, yeah, my feed gets squirrely every now and then, so I got to bail and come back.
Okay, cool.
I guess for me, one of the things I've liked doing that maybe the general audience isn't aware of is, doing thumbnails. And then a lot of them are pretty basic, like reviews. I just go for like the most recognizable thing I can. Like if it's the box art, generally is the thing that gets picked for reviews. But then Huber's are fun because I have to go through and figure out what the heck it's going to be, and then figure out where to put Huber in there. Not entirely sure what I would want to improve in that, but
I want to have like a Huber exhibit in LA at some point, where it's just all of the Huber thumbs, and you just kind of like have
Some of
to
those
think of,
thumbs
like
are really good.
abstract names for him, and you just kind of like, I just don't want people like sipping wine and just staring at Huber, like Huber's head on some like astronaut in space or something.
How many different things do you make thumbs for, Blood?
it's not that much. It's Huber, it's reviews, and then it's most of the stream archives. Although like Brandon and Kyle and Damiani do a lot of theirs. And then in terms of, the one thing that always bums me out is just being late on reviews. Would definitely like to get over some of that. Sometimes it's not in my control. Sometimes there's just like mental hurdles, especially if I get a game late, then it's just like, just getting in and starting that game can actually be a challenge in between everything else.
We seem to be having technical difficulties. Huber and Brad are frozen on my screen.
Oh yeah.
Everybody else is fine. If you guys can
Huber-
hear this, if you guys can
Huber's gone.
drop and then come back in, maybe that'll fix it rather than us taking down the broadcast. Okay, perfect. I think they heard me. So sorry about that, everybody. We'll get them back in just a second. And Blood.
But with the late reviews though, like I have kind of the upside of that is I have kind of learned how to make the most of that. Like I feel like when I do a late review that I actually make sure that I've really made that time worth it on the back end, that like it really is gonna be more comprehensive than maybe it would have been if I had gotten through something a little faster.
Ian, did you say a good thing?
No. Because
Seems about
I I think most of the things I do are good and could be better. Like everything I do, and it is what it is. And like, of course, it could be better, but it could be a lot worse.
I think
Like-
I actually really like that perspective. You just know you have an understanding of it.
Yeah.
You're not sitting around hemming and hawing and just like this
Well,
is what it is.
I mean, that's the funny thing. Like, people have comments about like, oh, this song sounds like, it could have used a bridge, or like, oh, this, the audio is, or the camera is whatever. I know everything that's wrong with everything that we do. I know everything that's wrong with everything we put out. And it's just, you can't.
That's the way it is, man.
You can't fix every, you
It's like,
gotta
oh.
choose the hills you're gonna die on.
That's a little bit less wrong today.
Yeah,
Look
like
what we did.
everything is wrong. Like when you put it, like I think that you could have a masterpiece film that wins Oscars and all the accolades, and there you could still find things that you could have done better.
Or even better, 20 years later, it'll be irrelevant and stupid. You look
Right.
back, it's like, ugh, it was fun at the time, but just not.
Yeah.
It's all bad.
It is 12:30, and I think we're at the
Third
Oh
question.
gosh.
we're at the fifth question. We're
Oh,
at the
okay.
fifth question. We're gonna
Speed
try
it
to
up.
move along.
Let's speed it up.
But we have been having some tech difficulties.
Beginning of this question, we have plenty of time.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
like,
We-
What bugs me
Yeah.
out is moving on without having Damiani admit any mistakes.
Oh, Kyle, come on, man.
Okay, all right, we'll move on.
Kyle,
It was volunteer.
You're throwing. All right. This is from Professor Metal Gear. He says, which Metal Gear Solid 1 animal best fits your personality? Choices are snake, ocelot, octopus, mantis, wolf, raven, or fox.
Octopus.
Wolf.
Mantis.
Ooh.
Ooh, whoa.
Oh,
Raven.
I'll do fox.
I missed it. Cut out for a sec. Which one is us?
Which
Yeah.
one is you individually? Yeah.
Oh, wolf or
Ocelot.
raven, I guess.
Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa, hold up.
Whoa, what happened?
somebody's on the freeway.
Ben, what animal am I?
What animal are you? You want me to pick? I think ocelot. That's
Cool.
what I would pick for you, Brian. You would make a very good revolver ocelot, and that is the highest compliment I could give
Yeah.
anyone ever.
Feels good, man.
Our next question is from Thim Strothman. He says, "Hey allies, I want to play a game with you that I started in the Easy Allies podcast last year, and that I coined Re4. This time we're playing the Ubisoft edition. Yves Guillemot hands the allies a list of game franchises that Ubisoft has produced in the past, and that have not seen a successful sequel in the last few years. For each of the franchises, you have to choose between one of the following 4 options. Remaster. Take all of the game titles in the franchise and release a remastered version of them.
All of them.
Graphics are updated, but basically the game stays the same. Reboot. Keep the theme and genre of the franchise intact, but reboot the whole series and start with a game that features state-of-the-art game mechanics. Reimagine. You keep the name of the franchise and the general theme setting of its in-game universe, but you make a completely different game. To make Brandon happy, you can also choose Re-Ally, just give me a sequel. If that's the case, you should clarify how the story/scenario of the franchise continues and why it would be a success.
Yeah, I like that random Brandon fourth.
Here are the games that we can do this sort of re-process to. Oh, there's one more. Actually, there's a 5th option. Remove. You are convinced that the franchise should never see the light of day again.
Whoa.
Here are the franchises that you can choose from.
Prince of Persia.
Brothers in Arms, Anno, Call of Juarez, Myst, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, Driver, Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, Assassin's Creed, Trials. So again, I'm going to give you the options one more time, and then I'll give you the list of games one more time. Pick one of the games.
I got write it down.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to keep track of. All right. So here are the things that you can do to one of the franchises. Remaster, reboot, reimagine, remove, or re-ally, which is just give me a sequel. Again, the franchises are Brothers in Arms, Anno, Call of Juarez, Myst, Splinter Cell, Driver, Prince of Persia, Assassin's Creed, Trials.
What's the second one?
Franchise or option?
Franchise.
Franchise. Anno, it's a
I want
What is that?
a reboot.
It's like a sci-fi RTS.
A Prince of Persia reboot.
Yep.
I want it, and I want it now.
That's not an option.
Prince of Persia.
Yes,
it
it
was.
is an option.
It's an option.
Yeah, it was an option. Hmm.
Prince of Persia and a Call of Juarez Really.
Just give me another one.
Yeah, 2, both of those.
Yeah, I think Call of Juarez is not. Yeah, people wouldn't be like, "Is this true to the Call of Juarez franchise?" Like they've done some weird stuff with that license.
There are 3 great Call of Juarez games and 1 train wreck of a game.
Is that the modern day one?
Wait,
The Cartel.
3 great?
3, yeah. The first Bound in Blood and then Gunslinger, which was like the
DLC
download
game.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All 3 of those games are sick. Bound in Blood is exceptional.
Yes. The second one I really liked.
So I would just like going back to the Wild West theme, just another sequel because Cartel was weird modern times, and just a sequel to either Bound in Blood or Gunslinger.
Would you want it to be more open, or would you like the structure it has right now?
I think like Bound in Blood has some pretty big. It's not open world, but the environments are pretty big. Like you go through woodlands and you get to like a town. I think that's perfect. Yeah, I don't think it needs to get really any much.
Cool. Damiani, what Ubisoft franchise would you want to modify?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I honestly felt strongly about Prince of Persia, and Huber already took that.
Take it. Expand on it, Damiani.
Yeah.
I want to hear how you would do it.
I mean, I just love the time rewind mechanic. I want them to come back. I think in the last Prince of Persia, it was too generous. There were like you couldn't get game overs in that game.
Generous.
It basically was like everything was a checkpoint, and you went back. Whereas the original Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, there was actually like a penalty. You could like actually get a game over and have to start over again on that level. So I'd want it to go back to the original Prince of Persia, actually, Sands of Time. I'd rather it do that. But I kind of liked some of the stuff they did in the last one. Honestly, I don't know if I like the combat, the partner system, using those moves,
And how every fight was just one-on-one. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But then again, I didn't think the combat in particularly any of them was great. But I think they could maybe learn from Assassin's Creed or the Arkham games, like that combat system, like going maybe I'd prefer it towards more Arkham style. So like doing like the crowd battles of like Prince versus Many, where it is more fluid combo system would be kind of nice. So I'd
What
like
if
to
they
see
went
that.
like Platinum Devil May Cry nut
No,
style for
I
Prince
think
of
that's too intense. I feel.
Yeah.
I feel it still needs to be a little bit more toned down a bit.
Totally.
But there still needs to be a penalty, and I wish there was more. I don't know, like that rewind mechanic was so good, and I know everyone's like, "Oh, Prince of Persia used it," and then they used it again in that one other terrible X-Blades game or whatever, its sequel, whatever, used it, and it was not good in that either. I'd like to see someone try and do that again. So it was, Prince of Persia, bring it back, try that again with a reboot, or
Bring it back.
So I have an answer for this. Splinter Cell is a game I think that is huge. But let's say you put out a trailer this year where it's just like a really good looking Splinter Cell game. I think you have no excitement.
Yeah.
And so I look at what's going on with Rabbids, right? We hear this idea of a Mario RPG / Rabbids game. We're excited suddenly about Rabbids, where normally we would never be. So I'm proposing a Splinter Cell game in which you must invade Bowser's castle without any of the Mario characters ever knowing you're there. They cannot know that it's Splinter Cell. They cannot know that Sam Fisher is inside of their universe.
So is he going to be like shooting like Yoshis and stuff like that?
Not Yoshi. He'll be shooting dry bones, dude.
I love this so much.
No, wait, I gotta change it. Just one person knows. One.
Who?
Toad. Toad knows. So Toad
goes to the real world. He goes to
right, but
Splinter
then goes
Cell's
back.
world.
But then goes back. So you follow Toad like on the inside, knowing, and Toad's got to react to everybody and just play along like there's no big deal. knowing that like this, Mario, like he's got it this time. Like I know you're trying, but you're like
I
you're in the level while you're seeing Mario like try to do the platforming thing, and you like
and you're like on the beams
you,
above,
you,
looking
like,
down.
Fix the platform right as he like finishes the
I
boss
can
fight.
see the cutscene, the intro cutscene, when Sam Fisher is like coming home to his apartment and he knows someone's inside it, and he like takes his gun out and like kicks down the door into his apartment, and Toad is just like sitting in a chair, like backlit, just shadowy Toad.
I just
a silhouette.
And I know.
I have to see a chokehold on a Goomba. What is that? What does that look like?
It's just use 2 fingers, I think, and put it right in here. And I know this sounds really
Lenny.
silly, and we're laughing, but I honestly think like that's the kind of weirdness you have to be at this point to get a general enthusiasm for a Splinter Cell game.
Yeah.
I think
Because
honestly,
you know,
it'd be a really good game.
Yeah, because you know if it comes back, it's just gonna be like the same super serious, hitting someone in the bathroom in the mirror and choking someone out and like, I've got to stop the nukes from going off.
Can you imagine that E3 trailer announcement where they show Toad first and he's talking to somebody and he has this really serious conversation and then it crash cuts to Sam Fisher? Yeah.
Michael
That is a
Ironside
brilliant
returns to do the voice like that. Crazy.
Nintendo's got to hire us.
I'll go in. I'll make the cold-blooded hard cut. Brothers in Arms remove.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
you're
already
right,
dead.
You
It's
started
right
right
now,
now,
dude.
That was that Furious 6 or what is that thing called?
Yeah,
Furious 4?
Right.
Furious
Yeah.
4.
Oh, I forgot that existed.
They teased that thing so long ago, and it does not have any of the tone of what Brothers in Arms was known for whatsoever. Just pull that scab off, get rid of it.
Brutal scab.
Yeah. We're going to move on to the next question here. This is from Kath. Hello,
I want to reboot
allies.
Driver. We can move on.
You want to reboot Driver?
Reboot Driver.
Nice.
Hello, allies. While I haven't been playing a lot of games lately, I've been thinking about them a lot. I've found that I really enjoy mechanics that add to story and context, such as the Collectopedia in Xenoblade and the affection in newer Pokemon games. What are some of your favorite mechanics in games that aren't used often, or alternatively, what's a mechanic that's used often in games you think is mediocre at best, but could be great with the right improvements?
Radio towers, get them out. I don't want
But hold on.
any
Here's the
more.
thing, Hubert. They're so good in Horizon, dude. Like Horizon made it, radio towers interesting. You can do it.
Hardly.
Zelda has
Ouch.
towers.
Zelda's got towers.
Would you take the towers out of Zelda?
Yep. Take them out. Why don't you? Why can't you just go talk? Why can't you like seek out some like map drawer explorer in a cave that is like, yo, here's like this area. Like, why do I need to climb a tower?
I don't want
Would
more
it be
conversation.
difficult to
in
get to
Zelda
that
Breath of
cave?
the Wild.
It's just a challenge. You got to make it hard. It's
a puzzle.
You feel like I've earned the the access to this area. I agree that that's not like quote unquote realistic, but
I do say I have to prefer towers over the kind of Castlevania Metroid style where like you slowly uncover pixel by pixel each part of the map. Where it's like you have to have like been in like just that right spot to get that last corner of the edge or whatever.
Now, Bloodworth, you can find and reveal sections of the map in most of those games as well.
Sure. I'm just saying like there's certain elements in those series.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
parts where like I have to make this jump just right to get my 100%.
Well, like in Castlevania Symphony of the Night, to 100% the map in that upside down castle and the underwater part where the water's on the ceiling, you have to like launch up and then like wolf dash to the right or left just to like actually fill out that corner because you can't get there. It's really annoying.
For me, it's cards as microtransactions, like just cracking packs. And so here's how I would fix it is once you start the game, before you even see the start menu, the game asks, do you want cards? And you can say yes or no. If you say no, it actually deletes the data in the game that would pertain to the cards. Just completely gone.
That's good.
Damiani, are there any mechanics you'd like to see more of, or ones you hate?
I covered it in the last question. I mean, the time rewind mechanic.
Oh.
But something I want to get rid of. Let's get rid of amiibos, please.
Okay.
Never have amiibos in any game.
Never gonna
again.
happen.
Do you want to get rid of
Never gonna
amiibos?
Buy
Or amiibo
amiibos?
game functionality.
Yeah, amiibo game functionality.
Okay.
Absolutely, they can't unlock anything in games anymore. Done. They're just toys. You can collect them if you want, but they're not unlocking anything in my games anymore.
I like.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jones. Go ahead.
I just like having a buddy around that fights with you. I can't think of any game I've ever played where I wouldn't want that. Just even if they're doing minimal damage, just having some kind of presence, just some pal to just go through a game with.
I hate that.
Wolf Link and Zelda and so on.
I like photography in games.
Yeah.
I really
think
like
it's a
it.
good one.
Outlast 2 has like a really cool recording photography type mechanic that ties into the story and is implemented really well. So
Kind of bouncing off Jones. We talked about this in the last Frame Trap. I would like if more party members could get pissed at you and leave. I want more of the people that are fighting alongside you to respond to what you're doing and turn against you and have that be more of a dynamic and more role-playing games.
Really good, man. That's so good, dude.
Yeah,
It's like Shadow of
drives
Mordor.
me
They're
nuts.
kind of the opposite of that.
when you're just a total jerk and they're like, "Oh, we love you. Come level me up." I don't know. I want to see more of a response there.
Yeah.
Kyle, I think your talk about the Persona 5 protagonist has really stuck with me. I've been like chewing on it for several days in a good way. I think it's given me a different perspective. Brad, how about you? Anything?
The only thing that was annoying me for a while was like slow-mo, I would say, but I think it's been cut back a lot. Like, or especially like slow down, like in a fight. Like I always hated in God of War, Mike knows this, when you're like fighting and it just goes, then like does your combo, like slows down when you're like slamming down his things like that. And it's like constant throughout the entire combat.
My favorite parts.
Those are your favorite parts?
Yeah, dude, that's so
dare
cool.
How dare you, dude? It's like enough. I get it. It's cool maybe the first time.
It's like, oh, I'm
Whatever.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Souls
think God of War
never does
still
that,
has
right?
it.
As a rule.
Yeah, Souls respects you. It actually lets you play.
You're right. Huge divide there for sure.
Are we ready to move on to the next question?
Yeah.
All right. This is another long one, so I'm going to try to trim it down as much as I can. This is from Will. He said, "Hey, allies, I wanted to ask your thoughts on the seemingly different takes that Microsoft and Sony have regarding exclusive titles that they themselves has a large hand in funding or developing. From all the individual examples we've seen over the years, my take has been that Microsoft is much more willing to completely scrap or indefinitely delay a project if it is not if it does not meet deadlines or expectations. Examples being Scalebound, getting canned, and Cuphead is still being worked on. On the other hand, I get the impression that Sony is willing to push a title out before it is ready in order to simply get it out there. While I don't really have any direct evidence for this, the examples that come to mind that make me feel this is the case are the launches of both No Man's Sky as well as Street Fighter V. So I guess the question I have for everyone is twofold. How likely do you think the examples I gave for Sony could actually be the case? And would you rather see a game that is in trouble during development never see the light of day if it is not up to standards, or would you rather see it pushed out so it can actually exist even if it is met with controversy major issues? What immediately comes to mind to me. Go ahead.
Sony, particular. So I don't know how much Sony had to play in those release dates.
Yeah, and Cuphead's not directly being made by Microsoft. I mean, Halo, it seems like they just pumped those out.
Right, you think about the Master Chief Collection and the terrible problems that had for a long time. I think you can find
examples on both sides.
Examples on both sides. So I'm not really sure I buy that argument.
Yeah, Master Chief and Drive Club are basically the same problem, and they came out fairly close to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although Drive Club managed to kind of address the issues in a couple of months, and Master Chief sounded like it still has issues.
I think you can look at E3 2013, where both Sony and Microsoft announced too much.
Sure.
Maybe it was 14. They announced too much both of those years. I think that, Last Guardian came out. Last Guardian is you could point at that game in particular and say, how could you possibly argue that Sony pushes games out when this game took 8 years to finally release on a Sony platform? But no, you're right. They both do it. They both announce too early. They both push things out. And that's really what all publishers do and must do. to make money. And so I don't think you could really argue one does it more than the other. And I'm not sure you could argue it's like virtuous that Microsoft canceled Scalebound. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That they said this isn't coming together. Let's cancel it. I think it's really part of the biz. I think Scalebound was announced too early. But, you know,
Yeah.
I think Last Guardian was announced too early at the same time.
I think you're totally right. I think the problem is not being willing to cancel a game or having the guts or like being like shady business people to like just push something out. I think it's just everyone is bad at PR and marketing and handling the hype. Because like No Man's Sky would have been much less of a train wreck if they just said like, hey, it's an art game. You don't really do much. It's flying around. It's fun. It's cool. It's Proteus in space. Like people would be less excited, but everyone would be way less pissed. And like same with Scalebound and Last Guardian. Yeah. Just stop announcing games before you actually know if they're going to be a thing.
Okay. Does anybody have any other opinions that they want to share on it? Okay. Next question comes in from Robert. On one of the group streams, the lightning display becomes blindingly bright, and suddenly the goddess emerges in our world. She officially becomes the newest member of the Easy Allies. How do you integrate her into your operations? Will her addition to the group be easy or difficult?
Oh my
To simplify matters, she is fully committed to becoming an Easy Ally.
Cool. I had a lot of questions about that. That helps smooth a lot of things over.
She's playing 13 immediately. I mean, that's like the first thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playthrough.
13
Full playthrough.
Whole trilogy.
Yeah. Will we just
And
like
I wish
bring her
she has to
grades?
give her honest
ban her?
opinion at the end.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you,
I'd
she's
like her
going
to-
to be the head of Easy Allies. No
I'd like
matter
her
what.
to.
Right, yeah.
I'd like her to host a podcast.
Sure. What would it be, a new podcast?
Yeah, brand new podcast.
What would it be about?
The Lightning
Lightning
Cast.
round.
It'd be about time travel.
I would just love for her to walk up to somebody and give a business card that says Lightning, Easy Allies, CEO.
No. Would you want her to use lightning or say Claire parentheses lightning?
No, Lightning. That's it. Or Goddess.
The
Lightning.
goddess. Yeah, or the
Yeah.
goddess.
I think I'd have to like go. If this happens, there's so many more things I have to reconsider about existence that I would have to go.
You just go to the mountains to like,
out.
I would love it. I would love it if like it
Go
was
to
just in the
Kamar
middle of the
Ties.
group stream that you have this revelation that you
Yeah.
kind of like play along with it for a few days, and then you're just sitting and we're all laughing and telling some stupid joke, and Kyle just gets up in the middle of it and goes, "I'm out.
I gotta
And
go.
That's it. That's the
I
last
gotta
time
go.
we see Kyle Bossman."
So Lightning can host the podcast in my stead.
Okay. Okay.
This would be great.
I think
It's
I
funny
think she needs to be
because
the
depending on which way you, yeah.
she needs to be the brand manager, right? She's the one that's out there like making all the deals. Like she's the
Mhm.
public
Mhm.
face with all the publishers and getting us
Slick
stuff
Rick?
early. Yeah.
But she would have no.
Who
Would
who's
she
gonna
have
say
any
no to Lightning?
understanding of our world, though?
Oh, she's
Yes.
got understanding.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
She's been to France. Our next question. This will be specifically directed at the Tabletop Escapades crew. Rebecca asked, "Hey beauties, in a world without limitations, what would your dream Tabletop Escapades merchandise be?" I vote a Black Rose Lego set. I like that a lot.
That's
Oh,
cool.
that's so cool.
That'd be cool.
Good starter.
I want those candies.
The sweets.
Oh,
The
sure.
sweets.
I want a Nicator themed ale or something like that. Some sort of beer.
Just
Nice.
your Nicator's face on it.
Yeah.
I just want to sell grain. I want it to be unmarked. I don't want it to say but tabletop. I just want to sell bags of grain to people.
Lars's grain.
Ours is grain. $20.
So good.
That's really fun.
I'd also like, if there's no budget here, the Tabletop Escapades MMO.
I would do
All of our characters are NPCs.
Huh?
They're like
You have to find
bosses
them,
or
though.
yeah, they're like super hidden within the world.
Yeah.
And yeah, an MMO from Blizzard. Blizzard's
like
making
a-
it. It's
one
their
of the-
next MMO.
One of the main quest lines is like going to the battle with Law with the catapults there and then escaping.
Oh, yes.
The thing is the quest line just keeps changing. So like every time you go to a new
Yeah,
event,
that's
then
true.
something else happens.
No,
and you
in the
can't complete
game,
quest.
you keep getting quests, but then they're like nearly impossible to actually complete.
A lot of patches.
I would do if money's no object, you buy like a John Hammond style like island, and it's like a theme park that is all of the different regions from the story, and it'd be the worst because like these aren't really pleasant places most of the time, but you could go to them. I think that'd be cool.
Whatever quest you're doing, whatever you accept, even if you're not doing a quest, even if you're just going around and farming materials or whatever, there is a 10% chance that Hogger will come in or Pomper, either one, and just attack something.
That's pretty
Pomper,
cool.
there's a random chance Pomper comes in to defend you, and a random chance Hogger comes in to attack you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Embroidered eye patch.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Would it be incomplete as it was in the show, or would it be a complete?
I want to believe in the complete version.
Okay.
But it comes with a little packet of blood that you can choose to put on it or not.
Does it have the spike on it too?
Spike.
That version never happened, but you could get one.
Too risky, dude. I don't want
Too
anybody
risky. We get sued.
with a spike on their eye.
Our next question comes in from Silent Continent. He says, "Hey, allies, I'm heading to a convention this weekend. I'm going to hopefully meet a voice actor that I've loved since I was a kid, Mr. Steve Blum. My
Oh,
question for all of you is, who is your favorite voice actor? What is the role you personally know them best for?"
Nolan North. I don't want to be cliche, but love Nathan Drake. Love his performance, and wasn't like super obsessed with Nolan North. There was that big joke when it's like, oh, he's in every single game.
Mhm.
But going through The Last of Us and finishing The Last of Us, and then realizing after the fact that he was David, that blew me away. Had no idea. So I was like, holy crap, Nolan North. Best in the biz.
I like my favorite is Mr. Billy West, who is like
yeah.
60% of the cast of Futurama.
yeah.
The Honey Nut Cheerios bee. Neither originated the role of Ren or Stimpy, but played both of them for a run of the animated show. Just Phil was like, yeah, I can do both. And,
Red M&M.
The Red M&M, and is a super nice guy. Met him in person a couple times, and is just a very is one of those people that you're like, I'm a big fan, and he goes, oh. Like, I wasn't expecting you to say that. A lot of people are like, thanks. They just have that preloaded, of course. Let's open with that. But he's just very, very, very down to earth, fun guy. Whenever you see recordings of him in the booth, he always just a tank top and flip flops. He's just but Leela, yeah, he's great.
Do they have to be video game voice actors?
No way,
dude.
voice actor.
Mel Blanc's one of my favorite voice actors. He did all of the original Tiny
Everybody.
Toons. He did everybody.
Oh, I thought it was video games only.
No,
No,
you
Jones
can
just
just
did a
voice
TV
actor.
show.
Yeah.
And I think he picked Steve
Yeah.
Bloom because of Cowboy Bebop and many
Yeah.
other things.
Kevin Conroy, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, dude. Over. Well done, Huber.
Yeah, that would have been my pick, really.
Really,
It was
bud?
it was like you committed some great sin.
Yeah.
You're like, sorry, Kevin.
Yeah, my God.
What the hell?
Whoa.
I love it.
For me, the Cowboy Bebop cast, like Faye, Jet, and Spike, were huge for me growing up. I love them. I think Mark Hamill does pretty good stuff, and he's in way more stuff than you realize. He's voices that you didn't even know sometimes. Yeah.
Yakuza 1, Mark Hamill.
Mhm.
Plus, I just like that
Majima.
he's still doing stuff. Before Star Wars came back.
Mark Hamill, one of the greats.
One of the greats.
One of the greats. Star Wars.
Did not go into audition for the Joker. Was there for a different show.
Really?
And before he left the building, somebody was like, hey, Mark, can you come in and read for the Joker? And he was like, okay.
No way, Jones.
Okay.
He tapped into that on a whim.
Yep. He was
Dude,
in
well,
the building. He
He's
came in audition.
Skywalker, Kyle.
He
can do
came in
anything.
audition for a thing and then went into the other office to be like, hey, as long as I'm here and just stop by to see people. And they were like, why don't you come in And do Joker. Just give us your Joker, because we're seeing everyone for this. Like, this is a major initiative across like Warner Brothers Animation. This is like the #1 thing we're doing right now.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Kevin Conroy walked in and was like, "Hi, I'm Kevin Conroy," and they were like, "Hired." Like, oh my god, that guy.
That actually makes a lot of sense, because I've heard Mark Hamill talk about doing the Joker and how he kind of painted himself into a corner because of how damaging doing that voice is. It like hurts. Yeah. It's like not good for him.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good.
No, so it's like I can imagine him just like off the cuff being like, "Ah," you know, and then like not thinking it through for like longevity.
Damiani, do you have a favorite voice actor? I think there might be some issues there.
I can see him. I can't hear him.
Write it down.
I can't see him or hear him.
Just write it down.
Write it down.
Yeah, hold it up to the camera. Well,
While
it's
we're
weird too
dealing with
because it's interesting too because when he talks, it doesn't go full screen on him, which it means Google Chat cannot hear him either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Jones,
weird.
Nice curtains, by the way. Debut of those curtains in the back.
Yeah.
You might have to think about them and come back.
I think I'm gonna trim them. They're much longer than they need to be, so I think I'm gonna like maybe hem them shut.
Okay.
Flip them underneath a little bit.
Oh, for those windows, I see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Geralt voice actor, 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Doug Cocker.
Dandelion.
One of the best in the biz.
Where's Dandelion?
Oh my god, dude. Finding Dandelion, dude.
What on earth?
Oh my god. It's like 15-hour investment. Find Dandelion through this. God, dude. Oh my god. See you guys.
We don't know why we've lost Damiani.
So many weird technical issues with Q&A today.
Let's just keep going. He'll come back.
No, just log all the questions he hasn't answered. We'll keep pushing through.
Unless we lost Ben now. Oh, we
Ben's
lost Ben.
Ben's gone.
Oh, no.
He's the host.
Oh,
All right, I want to
no.
do like we've done serious voice actors.
Hey guys, sorry about that.
Hey, I want to do special mention to the voice actor for Pikachu.
Is the stream still? Can they still hear us, Ben?
Yeah, they can still hear us. It's just everybody bizarrely went black on my screen, and I had to rejoin for some reason.
Kyle, for doing joke ones, then shout out to
It's not a joke one, dude.
Okay.
That's so much skill, raw skill, and like acting to like do one word and then just like communicate so much through that.
Okay.
Why? What's yours? Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna shout outs to the guy that did Dr. Light at Mega Man 8. Fantastic voice work.
Oh,
sorry, I'm not buying Pikachu. Go.
You're not buying it, dude?
I'm not buying it, man.
Ian, did you voluntarily leave and then come back?
Everything went black, and then I left and came back.
Okay, yeah, something is going on today. We are having
apparently people in chat are having issues too. A lot of buffering.
Yeah.
Bummer.
We got to switch to GoToMeeting.
But we can't
offer
stream.
code.
We can't stream from. Oh, okay.
I just think GoToMeeting is funny.
Because of podcasts.
All right, we're gonna try to march forward as best we can here. The next question is from Delcast. He has a conspiracy theory. Do you guys think game delays are potentially used as planned marketing? I've been mulling over this idea for a while. The concept being that all press is good press, and realizing that while people complain and moan about delays, in the end, it doesn't seem to affect the reception of the game. And to a marketing team, this seems like a win-win situation. It may seem a little far-fetched, but it also seems rather smart. Why wouldn't they use a fake delay as free publicity when, for game enthusiasts, delays almost appear to cause a Pavlovian response? Are we all dunces being played by the publishers? No, but seriously, isn't this a smart and somewhat unsettling possibility?
I love a good conspiracy theory. I'll buy it. I'm on board. I'll buy it.
I don't know if they would be doing it for marketing purposes, but I definitely, if they're not doing it to be like, oh crap, we got to space out our release from this other thing, like then they're crazy, because like you should be doing that if you're not, you know.
What's the stupid quote? Like, why attribute something to maliciousness when you can it's easier to say it was something stupid? No.
Incompetence?
Yeah. No, it's not. There's no scheme here. There's just, honestly, it's just they picked a bad date. It's like...
Well, the really bad thing is when you see the games where like they've had like this clear marketing plan all the way through, and then the delay happens, and then they have to like scrounge up stuff to try to keep people excited, and they're just kind of rehashing trailers and
BioShock
like, doing
Infinite.
weird dev diaries and
I think
marketing.
Yeah, I think BioShock Infinite is like the best case of what Bloodworth just described, of just like, here's the trailer for the Sound Boy enemy, and then like the Sound Boy appears in like one part of the game for 5 minutes, you know?
Yeah, oh man, they really leaned on that Sound Boy. He was like really a thing.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Oh, that game.
The same thing kind of happened with Persona 5, where they delayed it, but they're like, hey, Japanese voices are coming. Kind of trying to soften the blow with that as well.
Ben, can I ask you a question, Ben?
What's up, Ian?
Who's Jody? Who is that? Jody Picoult? Who is that?
That is an author that my girlfriend really likes.
Oh, okay. What's the last name? Picoult?
I believe it's Picoult. I think that's how you say it. It's either Pico or Picoult. Yeah.
And is that Gilmore Girls down there below the TV?
Yes, big Gilmore Girls fan. Very big Gilmore Girls fan. Yep. We have a kind of it's hilarious. We kind of have like this shared self here. There's all this like manga and PS2 games up here, and then
we can tell.
This represents us. Yeah,
nice.
There's a striation there. Yeah.
Our next question comes in from the classiest hobo. I've been a huge fan since way back. I rarely reach out, but I just wanted to say you guys are seriously the best in the biz, and I recommend you to everyone I know. Wow, thank you. Besides these, I have two other big passions, video games and comedy, specifically what is commonly referred to as alt comedy. I dislike that term in a very similar way I dislike the term gamer. Whenever I go to LA, I go to see shows at UCB, Meltdown, IO West, and other venues. Last time I made it a point to go see Kyle's sketch group, and it was phenomenal. My question is, do any of the allies have any favorite comedians or comedy shows live or televised?
Improv Shakespeare is pretty crazy out here in LA. Those guys are impressive. I've only seen them once. But yeah.
Again, the ice truck is back, whatever that was.
Sounds like a garage door opening.
Yeah.
I mean, I have
in the freezer.
I have a fan here. It's not pointed at the mic, though.
It's like once every 10 minutes we get that.
There's no noise on my end.
I think it's really cool Classiest Hobo went to UCB. When I first came to LA and saw the stuff UCB was doing, and in New York too, honestly, it changed my entire perspective on what could be funny in a huge way. Where comedy comes from, and taking the classes and learning everything obviously reinforced that. But I used to hate live theater. In fact, I still do in a lot of ways. But it's just like discovering the good parts of it, discovering the good parts of what it means to see a show live, and the comedy that can come from it, and from improv and from writing and all those things. Absolutely. I don't have the hate for alt comedy that you do, Classiest Hobo. I think it's fine. I totally get it. I have a frame of reference for what kind of comedy you're talking about if someone says alt comedy.
Why don't you like live theater, Kyle?
Because he's not classy.
One of my least favorite things in the world.
He's just a hobo.
If you made me like top 10 things that really irritate Kyle, the first line of a play is one of them. I hate the first line of most plays. It just digs into like almost any single play.
Like,
Grapefruits again, Grandpa.
Oh yeah, Johnson gets me.
yeah.
My favorite. Wait, Kyle, I made a joke to Amanda one time, and we would be like, this would be a serious drama that we're seeing at the Amundsen, and we're crying laughing because we were intermission one time in a play, and I turned to Amanda and I'm like, why does everybody fold laundry in every drama ever written ever?
Yeah.
Like, why is it every time I go see a show, there's always like the mom who has a conversation with her daughter or son or something, and it's like, well, honey, what you're, and it's like, you're not even folding right. What do you like? It's like messier like by the time she's done with it. And like the next
Stage
5
business.
plays that we saw had fucking folding laundry in it. And we were like, you know, it's like they're talking about cancer or something. And we're just like, look at the audience, like, they're folding again. Yeah, theater can be pretty dumb.
People are afraid of just
Everything can be
talking.
dumb.
Yeah.
Like people do in real life. They always think that something has to be happening.
Yeah, they need to be crossing on stage. And, yeah, exactly.
That's
man.
like that's like when Robert Altman did MASH, and then they've got the radio wireless microphone, so everyone's just talking over each other constantly. And I'm like, right, I get that you've got these cool mics, but sometimes people listen to each other. It's like, settle down, God. Yeah.
Can I do a shameless plug?
Yeah.
My wife does improvised long form narrative in Los Angeles with a group called Impro. That's improv without the V at the end. And they do classes, and they have a professional company that goes around with big theaters. But the reason why I plug them and think they're so great, they're obviously horrible shows that they've put on that I've seen, but the most of them are pretty great because they do long form narrative. So it's an hour, and they'll do like Twilight Zone or Shakespeare or Jane Austen or Stranger Things or Game of Thrones or Star Trek, or they're in their third season, and which I think just wrapped up the third season. And like they'll put together a whole show, and it's amazing. Like somebody will be like squirrels, and they're like, all right, and then based on that first scene, like they'll figure out who the villain is and what the tensions are. They'll have subplots. They'll actually be continuing like narratives continuing from previous seasons. And like, again, just like Kyle said, like some of it is just like watching paint dry boring at parts, but like then you just get like sports. Then you just get these unbelievable flashes of brilliance. Like I've seen, it's tough to like go up to an actor after a show and just like I can't express to you how incredible that was. I can't believe that came together. So yeah, check that out if you have not. They do put their stuff online too, so you can just like watch video of it and see if you're interested. Then maybe go check it out.
Speaking of shameless plugs and tediously boring but flashes of crazy genius, Easy Allies is Fiasconauts.
Which we should do Fiasconauts live. We should do like a stage performance of that at some place in LA.
I was thinking about that if that would be interesting or not. Yeah, it could be. It'd be interesting if we were on our feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead, Blood.
Oh yeah, there's not anything that like comedy wise that I'm into right now, but I just like LA is just one of those places where one way or another you kind of get you get pulled into it with friends. Like it's just such a big community thing that so many people are into that. Like I've had countless people that I've ended up going to shows for, or who have been in improv groups and such like that. Even people I wouldn't have thought of before they ended up moving here. So.
Nice.
And then I see a lot of people on commercials after that.
I feel like you guys are so cool. Like you have these personal connections to comedians, or you've been to comedy shows in LA, and I have not done any of those things, but I do have a favorite comedian, which I feel like is a pretty cliche answer, but I really like Louis C.K. a lot. I like Louis the show. And just his whole attitude on social media gave me a really good perspective, where somebody asked like, hey, why did you get rid of Twitter? He's like, it made me feel bad, so I didn't do it. Just sort of his like not making it overly complicated, just being honest with himself kind of thing. I really like his attitude a lot.
His Netflix special is really great.
Yeah.
The new one? Yeah, I heard it was good.
Very, very funny.
Reggie Watts, too. My God. Reggie Watts.
I also think Dave Chappelle's new Netflix comedy specials are really good.
Big Bill Burr fan. Love that guy.
Bill Burr, yeah. Good one, for sure. Damiani, do you have any favorite comedians?
Not anything I can think of, honestly. And I also don't do like live stuff. Most is my mom used to drag me to plays and stuff when I was like younger, but I don't really go to any of that stuff.
A comedy show is basically the most expensive thing you can do.
That is not accurate as far as live theater goes.
Yeah, do you mean stand-up, what?
I mean, like a lot of...
With like 2-drink minimum?
2-drink minimum, and then like the parking is like crazy extra, and then they got the tickets on top of that, yeah.
I mean, my friend is buying us 10 tickets for Hamilton tomorrow, and I'm like, I'll comfortably spend up to $200, but I'll go to 3 if we have to.
Jeez.
Like, going to actual theater is like $100 in the door.
Damiani, I got one more question for you. Would you consider, you and Kyle, would you consider yourselves enemies of fine arts? Is that
Yes,
how you view yourself?
Yeah, I want to tear down the fine arts.
Okay.
Sure.
The future is gifts.
Fine.
Oh, gosh.
Gifts.
The future is gifts. Oh, God. Kyle, the next question is pointed directly at you.
We got another one of these. All right, let's go.
Stuart says, hey, guys. Whatever happened to Jacob Lavelle? I see him on Twitter sometimes, but he doesn't seem to be doing much else lately. He seemed like a real cool dude. Why was he not invited to join Easy Allies?
This is for sure the person who runs that Twitter account.
100%. 100%.
Like 100%, this is them.
Yep.
Okay, I'll give a serious answer to this actually, in that like a big part of me truly wants to discontinue any Final Bossman canon. Just like a clean cut Kojima style. When at the Game Awards this year, Jeff told the story about how he didn't want to accept the Metal Gear Solid 5 award. That totally resonated
blood
with
on
me.
his hands? It was the best.
Yeah, exactly. And I truly feel that way with Final Bossman and everything connected to it. Is I'm really okay with just packing it up and letting it be dead. You know, I'm proud of a lot of it. I'm not proud of a lot of it, but you know, it's good. It's a closed chapter. I do not wish to continue Liquid Bossman or Jacob Lavelle or any of those things. I'm good to move on. I'm good.
Bossman, can I ask you a question? We never did like a. I'm trying to remember back to the last episode, because we all just got fired. So like, you didn't.
Ooh, yeah.
There was no closure, right?
If I could do a plug, I got to write a script. I wrote like a 25-page script for the final episode.
Yeah.
Before we did that, or before
No,
we got
it was
fired?
like it was like a week after we all got fired.
Oh wow!
And I did it all in like script formatting, and it's a grand conclusion to everything the Final Bossman was. It's totally
Bossman.
canon.
Let's do it.
Oh,
Well,
it
is
cannot be
actually
shot.
Impossible to shoot. Yeah.
Let's do it.
No,
No,
it,
that's-
it cannot be shot.
Yeah,
Take that challenge. We can find creative ways to do it. We'll
I'll
animate.
send you the scripts. But no,
All
Ian,
right,
just
I'll
as I
read it in
said-
like 6 months.
Yeah, didn't you just say you wanted to move on? You just said he wants to move on.
I just
from
said
all
I'm
that.
going to move on. I just said I'm
I'm
cool with
saying.
hacking it all up.
Like you'd need to get like Guillermo del Toro on board to shoot that script.
Yeah.
Michael Bay, I think would be better.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
That
Adam
was
Replicate
Sandler.
Michael Bay.
Adam Sandler would be better.
Totally, I agree.
I feel like this is, well, I guess this is targeted at all of us. Eric says Konami is going to announce a game at Nintendo's E3 press conference. We hear bloody tears playing. The screen that says the long-awaited return of Castlevania. And then they announce Castlevania, Pachinko of the Night. You hold the Switch vertically and use a single Joy-Con full of microtransactions. Will there be any hope left?
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
There's always hope. Castlevania will reveal itself one day. Maybe not this year, maybe not next, maybe not even in 2020. One day, Dracula will rise from the ashes.
But here's the thing: like, would you rather have Dracula rise from the ashes in another bad game, or would you rather it just be done?
I think you can make a good Castlevania game.
Of
Everything
course you can.
Rise
They
from
made
the
like
ashes,
7.
you mean a good Castlevania game, right?
Right.
Yeah. I think it's coming. A good Castlevania game within the next few years.
But it would have to be made by someone else, right? Konami's expressed no interest in making games anymore, like real games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what if they're doing like Yu-Gi-Oh and Bomberman and soccer? Anything else that's like really well? They're doing that weird Metal Gear
Yep.
side story.
Is that thing still happening?
Still happening, bud. This year, dude.
It's
Year of
this
dreams.
year?
Yeah.
Best year in video game history.
What a year.
Whoa.
I don't think that scenario would happen though. The pachinko thing. I think more than likely we would see that scenario, but then it would be like some kind of HD collection,
Yeah.
kind of like the Disney Afternoon.
I mean, we already got a Pachinko Castlevania machine anyway.
I was gonna say, they've got to have already made a
Erotic violence.
If they were to take all of the GBA and DS Castlevania games and put them in some sort of collection that I could play on console,
Yeah.
I would be all right with that. I mean, I guess that would be hard with the very specific stylus controls, but yeah.
It would work on the Switch. You could use your finger.
Oh my god, if they had
yeah.
a Castlevania package on the Switch.
Yeah.
I would buy the
Mhm.
hell out of that.
After
You could
everything-
probably use the touchpad too on the PS4 control. What's up?
After everything Konami's done, are you guys comfortable giving them money?
Hubert,
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
not that worried about it.
Bomberman turned a lot of things around. I really do. They didn't have to make Bomberman, and they did, and it sold really well for them at the Switch launch. And I think there's reason to believe in Konami still.
Didn't you hate that game though?
Yeah, I hate Bomberman, but I like it.
Eh,
That's
It's
like a
pretty
personal
weak
feeling.
Bomberman game.
Oh,
Yeah.
personally, I view Konami as a dead company that'll occasionally maybe get lucky. You know, like you can still do good things when after you're dead. Sometimes, accidentally, maybe. I want to take this opportunity to say that I think 13 Reasons Why is a very dangerous show. Committing suicide is never a good idea. You're not going to get good revenge. Don't do it. Yeah.
There you go.
That is a dangerous show.
Hubert, if Konami makes good stuff I like, I have no problem giving them money.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm with you, Huber, though, and I really like your belief that Castlevania is
totally.
It's coming.
I like that.
Probably not from them.
I hope.
I feel like something's coming.
Our next question/comment comes in from Rick and Robo. He says, "Greetings, allies. It's been 1 month since the EZA 1-year anniversary came to pass, and the festivities helped me realize and deeply appreciate something your guys' existence at Game Trailers and Easy Allies unwittingly spawned: friendship. As much as I love consuming the shows and streams you fellas put out, as well as understanding each of you as critics of video games and as human beings, getting to shake the hands of people who I had previously known only as names on Twitch or Twitter was, to say the least, remarkable. I have many friends through you guys who mean a great deal to me, and got to meet even more through events we held through the concert, Disneyland, and beyond. What I'm trying to get at is, does this fact that you have brought hundreds of fans together to build relationships weigh heavy on y'all? And how often do you each stop to consider what you do often facilitates the relationships of many of your fans?
I think about that all the time now, especially now in year 2. Greg Miller just hit 1 million followers on Twitter, and like the first thing he said was like, "I like talking with all of you about our shows and games." He's like, "That's the number one important thing." He's like, "So it doesn't, if I can do that to 5 people, I can do that to 1 million people. That's great." And I think that's definitely how a lot of people feel in this biz. I know Craig from Screw Attack, like that's what he, from Game Attack, like that's his major thing is the community. And so I think a lot of the content things that we do, I think a lot of the events that we do, I think we're really comfortable at this point with knowing our output and what we're capable of producing production-wise. And so I think the more focus and the kind of the unknown, the undiscovered country of Easy Allies now is how close can we get to our community and how much can we empower them to do what Rich just said, go out and meet more people and have more opportunities to hang out and have fun.
Well, and like, to me, it's huge. Like, even if we buckle tomorrow, the fact that, like, if we made 2 people not related to us, like, find each other and become friends, like, that would have been worth it, So it's like, just to see that we've done that, facilitated that, helped people get together. It's amazing. It's incredible. It's really awesome.
Well said. Anybody else have any opinions on the friendships that have formed because of Easy Allies?
It's amazing.
I'm going to say more like the community than the friendships. I feel like a big motivator for me after the closure of Game Trailers was that book they sent us all, where people made pages of what Game Trailers meant to them. And for me, reading that was one of the things that said, Kyle, like we got to find some way to make this continue. And so, yeah, that was a huge thing. The idea this community had arisen within the last, few years of GT was pretty cool. And definitely something I'm aware of constantly, when I'm making things, is keeping that community in mind, the people we make this stuff for.
Yeah. I think it's been so nice that people that feel comfortable opening up to us, that don't just talk to us about what we do, but talk to us about who they are and what's going on in their life. And the fact that anybody feels like they can be confident enough in us to do that means so much to me. And that's something that I deeply respect. And yeah, I hope to see more of. I want I want people to feel like we're a positive influence in their life.
One thing I just want to comment on, I'm going to do a Cup of Jones on this next month, but one thing that cracks me up is that like people express they're really nervous about like coming to LA for our anniversary to like meet everybody, and we're really nervous getting up on stage performing for everybody. And so we're all just making like wrecks of ourselves to all just get together and hang out for a couple of days and just be like nervous wrecks, and then we like, get through it all like, oh, we're finally done. It's like hopefully one day we could just all hang out and not freak out about it. Like all just enjoy and not like be super nervous, for many, many different reasons.
Our next question comes in from Lance. What is your favorite clothing brand?
Target.
0.
Yeah. Birthday suit.
Whatever pants fit.
I recently got a couple shorts from Cool, Kuhl. They're pretty cozy. My brother and I make fun of each other. I'm like, are those cool shorts? He's like, oh, you noticed. Cool.
I think that's cool in German.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I used to like Denim Bar, but they went out of business. I like Levi's, I guess. I have a lot of their pants and trucker jackets.
All my clothes are hand stitched in Iowa and then sent to me. This happens twice a year. Where my my mother is an amazing tailor, and so she just it looks like even the video games things that you see, it's just handmade in Iowa and sent over here. So I don't really my mom favorite brand. Yeah, for sure.
Don't really have one.
Mom, I'm gonna need a Diamond Dogs shirt.
She like does all this research.
Mom, you got the wrong anime girl on this.
You got started in that Kojima logo, right, Mom? Like, yeah, I'm working on it.
No, Chie, Mom, not Rise.
Yeah, come on. Sorry, I don't. The reason I answered that way is I don't have a favorite clothing brand. Damiani, do you have a favorite clothing brand?
Honestly, no. Whatever places online make video games shirts and hoodies, I go to those places, and then I go to whatever store I need to get nicer clothes. Just whatever's around me, honestly. I'm really bad at this. Like, you do not look to me for any kind of fashion.
Yeah, we're not a GQ.
Our next question comes in from Bradley. We have another game. He says, bit of an open-ended game for you. Take it as far as you want. Put simply, where do you think your fellow allies could make greatness if they were ever in a position of power as game developers? Art directors, lore masters, technical directors, whatever. What game series would you want to see each other take a major design role in, and what specific role would you want each other to fill?
I want Kyle Bossman doing level design.
Where?
Anywhere you want, Kyle.
I want Don doing level design.
Mm-hmm.
Or Don, yeah.
I want to put Bloodworth on a series that's gone out of control wacky. And I want him to be like their moral core. So Bloodworth on Borderlands 3.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just as like, and honestly, like not like we don't have to make him right, but he's like the editor. And so everything goes through Bloodworth, and he says, when he does, when something slips up, he doesn't like something that's been passed through.
Man.
Yeah, put Bloodworth on that game.
All right. So Bloodworth is at Gearbox. It's
Yeah.
the first day. One of the lead writer, in fact, in Borderlands 3, stays late, well into the morning, writing this script for Borderlands 3. Places it on Bloodworth's desk, who's already left for the night. Comes in the next morning. Bloodworth goes up, says, "That's not funny," and walks away.
That's just in big red marker. It just says "not funny" on the script.
No, he says that to them, and then walks away.
I would like Kyle Bossman to write the next Conquer.
Ooh, Jones, I would love that.
Yeah.
Sure.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'd want Hebert to write the next Resident Evil game.
Oh,
The stress.
Tie
just
it
the
in,
story.
Hebert. Tie it in.
I mean,
Write the scenario.
we all know the protagonist of that video game. There's no
Right.
I don't think we
The
did.
Wesker Chronicles.
Yeah, is
It'd
it
be Barry
Wesker?
and Wesker. It'd be Barry and Wesker.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I think Nemesis would play a strong role.
But it's like Barry reviews the footage and knows that he ducked, and no one will believe Barry. So it's like Barry's like one man just hunting the world for Wesker to take him down.
Who filmed it?
It's like when Tom Cruise comes back with the Interview with the Vampire. He's just like, like in a chair, like Wesker's just in the corner, just puts him down. I'd play that.
I would play that.
Where in the world is Albert Wesker?
We're gonna hire Jones on the next From Software game to do facial capture.
No, you're gonna ruin those games.
Yeah, I don't want Jones near that.
No, Jones, no.
Man.
Yes.
Stay away, Jones.
Man, because of all these arguments, the more and more I see lip sync in video games, the more I don't like it. It's never good. It's never good.
Horizon got there. Close.
Just put a helmet on.
Uncharted 4.
Oh, it's always
the PS4 one. They did really good with the faces on that.
Oh, they did actually. Yeah, good pick.
I played the standalone game that I think had pretty good.
I want Ben Moore designing a JRPG battle system.
Oh man, I would love that.
Yeah.
Ben Moore original. That'd be really great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you said that over stories because I think my favorite thing about JRPGs is battle systems. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
yeah. Kyle,
Yeah.
somebody said in chat to kind of incorporate them here, they would love you to do storyboards for a PS1 platformer.
Oh, that'd be fun.
And I thought again of another scenario where you are in a board meeting
Yeah.
and you're showing them and you're very excited how the platforms are connected into the rest of the world. It's like,
Yeah.
these aren't just platforms. They make sense within this place that you're exploring. And then there's an awkward pause and somebody goes, yeah, but how do we sell this?
Mm.
That's the...
But that's the nice thing about making this PS1 game, Ben, is like we're not here to make money. It's like those people who make Super Nintendo games today, you know?
But do you think it would look like a PS1 game or would it just be inspired by PS1 era 3D platforming?
It's that. You're right. It's like a Shovel Knight today. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because I was thinking, like, for Damiani, like, we have him doing, like, the mechanics of a 3D platformer. Like, we have him saying, this doesn't feel right, this jump isn't right, the hit detection is off. And
That's
so,
just like QA.
well, no, I honestly, I think it's, like, that's definitely a position of somebody who's, like, game
Well, it's like a
feel.
designer.
Yeah.
Master of feel.
I would just call him master. Like, oh, you
Yeah.
gotta send your
Send it to the master.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Our next question comes in from Ibrahim Sozer, Ebo Show. My question this month is inspired by something Blood said on the last Q&A. God of War released on March 2005. God of War 2, March 2007. Chains of Olympus, March 2008. God of War 3, March 2010. And Ghost of Sparta, November 2010. Ascension, March 2013. It looks highly likely that the next iteration is out in March 2018, and Easy A might do a live in-concert part 2 on said month, hopefully. Make Santa Monica happy, also the Easy A community, and perform Easy A's first musical. My question is, who would play Kratos and who would play the son?
Damiani as Kratos.
That question took some turns. I was thinking Damiani as Kratos too. Yeah, I love that.
Ben would be the son.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question done.
Yes. There.
Yeah.
Yep. Next.
I
got that.
And Damiani
Yeah.
would be my father?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Would he would
Yeah.
All right, I don't know. Anything I say could be twisted. All right.
It would be.
It would be. It absolutely would be. All right.
And Hubert come in as Wesker.
I want to be like a Minotaur.
The guy that killed the demo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like a 20-minute battle sequence set to music, singing.
Hubert's like, I want to bleed. We're like, Hubert, that's not a good idea. It's like, make me bleed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damiani, hit me with the axe.
Hubert, no.
The axe, dude.
Dean Ambrose.
Ian, I just want to throw this at you. Mr. Showtime in chat said they would love to see you do music for a new Master Blaster, which I thought was kind of a cool comment.
Oh.
Blaster Master.
Why?
I don't know. It was just out there.
Cool pick.
Ian, when are you going to make a Streets of Rage themed song for me?
3 weeks.
Perfect. I'm holding you to it.
Remind me.
Okay.
Our next question comes in from Beaten Down Brian. Hello, I hope everyone is doing well. Man, Beaten Down Brian is great. He's always so positive. My question is about your current workload. For a small group, you guys seem to put an exceptional amount of work, which seems even more exceptional considering you're doing it all without a studio. Even outside of reviews and all the work that goes along with them, you guys are producing multiple episodes of 5 different podcasts, a wide variety of shows, and a 100+ hours of streaming every month. Lately, it seems how we've heard more of you talk about the stress and pressure of trying to get things like reviews up on time because of having so many other prior commitments. I know this Q1 has been an exception because of the onslaught of new games, but do you ever worry about you're taking on too much, or are you guys feeling reasonably comfortable with your workload? It's not that I feel like the quality has dipped as you've taken on more work, and I'm really just asking this more out of concern rather than it being criticism. I always feel like a little pressure in a job is good and can help drive us in my experience, but too much normally is never a good thing.
It's kind of funny because, I mean, I keep myself really busy always, and I'm working on all kinds of other stuff that isn't Easy Allies, but last night I was buying rice checks at midnight, and the woman at the grocery store was like, but tomorrow's Saturday at least. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of have to work all day. And she goes, oh, well, do you always work on Saturdays? And I kind of thought about it for a second. I was like, I kind of work every day, but it's fun. So it doesn't really, so it's weird. Like my weekend is like, oh, I have a couple hours right now.
Ian, you touch on something that I think has been kind of the hardest for me is we don't have a Saturday or Sunday really. We don't have a nice like scheduled couple of days off. And so that is hard. Is always having something to do every day, I think, can be a little difficult. But like you said, it is all fun. And I think the reason we're taking on so many things is because we genuinely want to do them. We're not doing this out of obligation. There's desire there.
I think tomorrow I looked at the calendar and I don't have to really do anything. And I was like, I mean, there are still like 5 things I need to do. Like I got to submit a thing to Indicate and make a Kickstarter and all this other stuff, so it's like always, but like tomorrow I might just like go to the park for a little while.
Wait, you skipped over something. You're making a Kickstarter?
Yeah. I made a card game.
Oh, ooh. Is it the Swords one?
The Swords one, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did we play this? Did we play test this one?
We brief prototype.
Not on a stream or anything. My artist is getting the art. I'll have enough to do a prototype using art, and then we're gonna shoot a Kickstarter video and launch the Kickstarter hopefully in the near future. I'm a little bummed that Whimsic Alley is going out of business. I planned on shooting a Kickstarter video there.
That place was so cool.
Yeah. So maybe if I get the prototype deck in time, I can throw together a Kickstarter shoot and shoot it there before they're gone. But I don't know when they're going out of business. But yeah, so that's you heard it here first. Kickstarter coming hopefully soon for a card game that I made, and have been playtesting for like a year and a half.
Huber, how are you feeling about workload?
Good. It's every day, like you guys are saying. There's never a day off, but it's all fun. The only thing that really stresses me out is trying to get a review up on time. And there are some weeks when I don't have as good of Huber syndrome ideas as other weeks. So I'm like scrounging to try to figure out something to put up. Because like when I do it, I want to be like super passionate about something.
Right.
Like to be super passionate about a relevant thing like week after week.
Yeah.
Sometimes I gotta, like dig deep to find something. So it can be stressful.
I know that feel.
Yeah.
Jones, you don't sleep. How are you doing?
If I could pick between my life 2 years ago and my life today, I would pick my life today in a heartbeat. So it is all relative. And any issues that I have with my amount of sleep and my approach to my workload is 100% me. It's just what I choose to work on at any given point and what I choose to prioritize. And at the end of the day, we have an amazing community. And so a lot of the deadlines I put on myself are self-imposed. That said, I got to get some Game Sleuth VO done right after this hangout. So that's coming to you, Damiani, very soon.
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, the thing that's great about Easy Allies is it's generally all self-motivated. Like what I do like about having deadlines and patrons and stuff is that it does hold us accountable to you all. Mm-hmm. But like it still feels like we're making these because we want to. We get to do this. We don't have to do this.
Yeah.
And like that's insane and like crazy and you have to take care of yourself so you don't burn out, but yeah, life is nuts right now. It's great.
But I think that makes us easier to watch if we're
Right.
enjoying ourselves.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's when we're not enjoying ourselves
Yeah.
that things kind of fall apart.
All right. Our next question comes in from Connor. Often licensed video games get based on movies, but rarely television shows. What TV show do the Allies think would make a good video game? What
Westworld.
type of game would it be?
Seedlings, lol.
Oh my god. Hubert, the showmaster. Oh, sorry, Damiani.
I was gonna say the only thing I could, like TV shows. It seems like Telltale gets all of them. Like they will get turned into Telltale games nowadays. So it'd be nice to see some TV show be turned into something that's not a Telltale game.
Yeah,
Sure.
or like a good game, yeah.
I think every time a new video game generation happens, we should just go back and revisit Batman the Animated Series just to see if there's anything new with tech
Oh,
that we've
Jones.
learned. You know, just
Yeah,
try it
dude.
again. You know, just get Conroy and Hamill and Tara on the phone. Just get everybody. You know,
Dude, Batman Beyond would be a crazy game.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
World
So
Batman
fast.
Beyond. Let's just try it
Oh.
out.
Oh,
Cell shade the shit out of it, and
Yeah.
we'll have a good time.
can you imagine if From Software made a Batman Beyond game?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yes.
Can you make a Seinfeld game and have that be good?
yes.
Yeah.
100% you could.
I want
It'd
that
be-
then.
I picture like an adventure game maybe, or like a point and click.
VR.
Whoa. Yeah, you could do that.
I think
A
it'd
Full
be,
House murder mystery.
I think it'd be a Telltale kind of game.
Yeah.
You just killed me, Brad.
That's what it'd be, man.
Oh,
Can I suggest a game for a show that I don't watch, but the commercials make it look cool?
sure. Yeah. what is
Yes.
The Into the Badlands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good
Absolver.
suggestion, Blood. That's so good.
That's
that? Yeah, I
all
wish.
kind of
Man, you're the
Oh,
first person to bring up Into the Badlands. I'm glad somebody's giving it some attention.
Yeah. Huber, you might like that show. You should check it out.
Yeah, what channel is it on?
Have you heard of that? It's like FX or AMC, one of those, middle of the road.
Dude, that'd be a sick game.
That would be
First
good.
season's on Netflix too, I think.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the shows I'm watching right now are I don't know how to easily make them into something that would work as a video game. Like I'm watching Fargo, which is like you never know what the heck's even gonna go on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And, Better Call Saul, which is a lot of wordplay.
Speaking of Telltale, though, one thing that would be fun for them to do is to pick up something like a Black Mirror or Twilight Zone, or like something where they would release it episodically, but each episode wasn't the continuation of the story. It was just
Yeah.
like 6 weird episodes. That like
That'd be
maybe there was some continuation, like maybe there was some decisions where they would kind of gauge what
Cool.
type of person you were, and then they would kind of preload the next chapter, kind of with that in mind. But
Yeah.
it'd be fun to make those moral decisions, knowing that like, hey, after this 4-hour thing, I could say goodbye to all these characters and just kind of weigh all my decisions against that.
I want a Gotham video game where you're Jim Gordon, not Batman.
L.A. Noire.
So
I think
maybe-
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I want
Oh.
that video game. Period. Doesn't even have to be Gotham. Just gritty crime drama and.
I want a Silicon Valley game where like it's constantly multiple choice, but every answer you pick, something is just gonna make it the wrong answer.
Everything goes bad.
Where is the South Park game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where is this?
Yeah, where is it?
Holy
I was
cow.
just thinking of like
Don't
what
like-
were good examples. It's like the original South Park game was amazing. The RPG Stick of Truth, but I'd like
The
to
Fractured Hole.
Fractured Butthole is the next one. I'd like to see that come out. Actually,
Yep.
make it happen.
Beast Wars.
Whoa.
Wars.
Too
They
I'd
cool.
play
did
a
that,
Beast Wars
didn't they?
game.
Yeah, too cool.
There's a couple of PS1 Beast Wars games. It needs a second chance, Blood.
Reimagine.
Yeah.
I was wondering if The Expanse would make a good game. I think you could do it. You'd have to. I think that CD Projekt could make an amazing Expanse game.
Maybe if you play as like different characters, Ian.
You jump
like,
around, yeah. You
yeah.
play as all kinds. Like you're playing as like a
Yeah,
politician sometimes, and then you have to
Yeah.
fly this crazy space battle.
Totally.
It'd be nuts.
I
Oh,
think
that show's so good.
Any TV show could be made to a hilarious game if it was done by David Cage. I'd love to see him take on anything.
Mhm.
Even if it was like Always Sunny in Philadelphia or something like that. Something really
Brad, I really like that.
Oh my god, a David Cage Always Sunny in Philadelphia
Yeah, how
game
fun would that be?
amazing.
be?
Oh,
He
it'd
would
be
take it so
weird.
seriously.
Yeah, that's what it
That
is.
would be
Take it
weird.
seriously,
He would
yeah.
take it so
Oh.
seriously.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's very cool.
Oh man.
Even just like Danny DeVito's Idol animation would be great. Even seeing just like, staring at you while you're like,
The first thing that they would show would be this like hyper realistic model of Danny DeVito's head.
Yeah. Here's
Well, in
Danny.
the shower. He like gets out of the shower and you have to,
Shower.
like, dance with someone for like 20 minutes. Oh my god.
Allies, I love you all, but we are in the final 15 minutes of this Q&A. So can we, we're going to try to speed things up, crank it up just a little bit. How does that sound?
I have to
Crank
go in
it up.
10 minutes to set up my stream.
Okay, got it.
Huber, you scheduled the stream, man.
Yeah,
It's true. It's true.
I probably should schedule it for 3. Didn't really plan ahead
2:15.
there.
I mean,
Alright.
yeah, or you could have done 2:15. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Our next question. Are you guys going to do Extra Life this year? From Christine, by the way.
We got to do. Yes, we have to do stuff like that. Damiani, is that in your wheelhouse at all? Is that are those on the horizon for you? Just knowing what charities are coming up and
No.
Able Gamers is one I really want to do this year.
I
The
mean-
hashtaginess is a big component.
Sorry, I've been too preoccupied with convention stuff
Yeah.
and looking at that stuff. If people want to throw it our way, like suggestions, that would be good.
Yeah,
But-
I'd like
yeah.
to do one. I haven't looked into them enough to like know if I'm like 100% on board with any of them. But yeah, would like to do something. Just want to like sort of read over it first.
I like that. Blood wants to do the proper research. I always appreciate that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And part of that is suggestions based on who we got them from and what you can tell us why you like them. You know, what other people you've seen work with them in the past. So all that is good to know. Because the hope is that, you know, we get into a tradition of doing that. So if we do something one year, we'll do that, you know, for the foreseeable future. It'd be fun to work with, you know, a group more and more and see how many ways we can help.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Our next question is from Rory McGuire. He says, there have been a lot of remakes and reboots or sequels to older films in the last 10 years. Examples being things like Alien Covenant, Star Wars, Kong, Mad Max, Beauty and the Beast, Tron Legacy, etc. My question is, what is one franchise you would like to see another movie in, whether it's a remake, reboot, or sequel, and what is one that you would never want? Example, I would like a new Dune movie, which we are getting. I would never want a new Who Framed Roger Rabbit movie.
Okay.
I do not want a Goonie sequel. I do want a Last Starfighter sequel, please. Last Starfighter
Alex
2.
had it
Last
locked and loaded.
Starfighter.
Sequel, not a remake. Sequel. It would be the same thing. You can make a sequel to Last Starfighter. It's 40 years later. It would feel like a remake, but you could still tie it to the old series, and young kids would be like, "Oh, Alex Rogan, who's that?" Like, no, you can make it new characters, but sequel. Last Starfighter 2.
Apparently they're making a Labyrinth sequel, which is weird.
They were, and then it got canceled, but they wrote it anyway,
really?
and it's like a comic book. Yeah, it's kind of it's in
Okay.
a messy state right now.
Weird.
That's always, to me, that's iffy. It's like, Bowie's dead, guys. Like, Bowie's dead.
Well, it's also like
You just really bum me out.
that game or not game. That movie has a great reputation, but like it got that after it bombed in the theaters, right? It's
Yeah.
a strange
Mhm.
situation.
Please let Terminator die.
Oh, dude.
Isn't that the point? Isn't that the whole idea? It never dies. That's the original nightmare that James Cameron had, Hubert. It never dies.
Terminator 2, man, they changed their fate. It dies. It's over. It's done. End it now. Enough.
Could really go for a Dread sequel.
Yes.
Oh my God, Brad, yes.
Red.
I think you could make a new Neverending Story work. I think you could.
Yeah,
I could
probably.
read that.
Probably.
Fantastica.
I really don't want them to try and do the Matrix again.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that's good. That's
Is
good.
that real?
Leave it
Yeah,
That's
alone.
real.
That's so weird.
I'd like to see a fresh take on the Ghostbusters.
Oh, you're done.
Oh, gosh, Kyle.
We just had it. That movie's good.
Sorry,
We just had it, Ghostbusters.
they
Again.
already did it. They
See,
already
I'm
rebooted
warmed up,
Ghostbusters?
Kyle. See, I'm ready.
It's a good movie.
Bazinga.
Also play the video game. It has a good story as well. And it's canon.
Yeah, Big Bang Theory, the game. Can we get that, please?
Oh my God. BBT.
Tell-
Next,
can we-
next question, Ben. Next question.
Yeah, next question. All right. I just, that
Bail us out.
fucking
Bail us out.
bit.
Lego
Oh.
Big Bang Theory, please.
The next question is from Joseph. Hey, allies, I got a first world problem and I need some support. Just 2 weeks ago, I was loving Horizon Zero Dawn, but then I started playing the new Zelda and it's completely blown me away. I don't know what else to say other than I feel like a kid again. Every day, I can't wait to get home to progress further in this digital world. A few days ago, I tried to play more Horizon and I felt nothing. I had no drive to play it. In fact, all the imperfections of Horizon became more apparent now that I've fallen in love with Zelda. This is frustrating because I was really enjoying the game just 2 weeks ago. have any of you experienced this phenomenon of a masterful game personally overshadowing other excellent games in the same genre, and were you able to overcome to give this excellent game the credit it deserved?
Time makes fools of us all, baby. Just play Zelda. Maybe
I
someday
mean-
you'll play Horizon again. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Just learn from this experience, and next time finish the game that you started that you were liking before jumping into another one. Like, that's what I told everyone about Horizon and Zelda. Is like, I think it was like you, Huber. I was like, Huber, finish Horizon before you jump into Zelda, because
Yep.
it's going to be so hard to
Exactly.
go back into Horizon, no matter how good of a game it is.
Yeah.
But for the person who wrote the question, at this point, you just got to play through Zelda. Like, don't force yourself to
Yeah.
undo it. Like, you gotta ride with it and just go with the flow now.
Also, like, back to what we were talking about before with like delaying games strategically and stuff. Like, this is on. I don't even remember who made Horizon, but like
Gorilla.
they knew, they were terrified. They were like, please hype this up in the week that we've got before
Oh,
Zelda
right.
comes out and destroys us. Like, please talk about it, because like we made a bad decision. Like, really, they should have delayed it a month and like waited till after Zelda was out, or like kicked it out early or something. But like, yeah, it was just unfortunate timing in that case.
Yeah, I mean, it's Horizon for me is still in the shrink wrap, and I will get to it eventually. But I'd say the main thing is not to try to do games that have some kind of similar structure like that, because both of those are like really big, exhaustive worlds where you're going to spend a lot of your time just kind of looking around and checking the world itself out. Whereas to me, like I feel like Zelda and Persona are good pairings, because Zelda is like, okay, you're wandering around, you're exploring, there's not a lot of story to worry about, whereas Persona is like the flip side of that, where it's like you just dialed into the story and characters, and so they kind of complement each other better than something like Zelda and Horizon at the same time.
Good responses.
Yeah.
I think we're going to do 2 more questions. Are we ready?
Yeah, baby.
I love this one a lot. This is from Strong. He says, "Hi, allies. I remember back in the GT days when Kyle and Huber swapped places in their own respective shows, Final Bossman and Huber Hype. So I was wondering if any of you wanted to try someone else's place for one time. Try to be like them or just be yourself in their place."
I loved that.
That was
I would
fun.
love to do a Damiani stream. Just go play like an old Mario game and put the Easy A hat on and like
Complain about hit detection.
have the cat meowing like in a loop, the tape in the background, and like that'd be really good.
I want to see this so bad. Yeah.
I think Kyle hosting an easy update would be pretty funny. Just
Mhm.
like making fun of me the whole time, like doing a bad impression of me.
Yeah, and like making a song.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do
that'd be funny.
I feel bad that Ben doesn't get to, like, he gets to be all the characters in tabletop,
Mhm.
but I would love for Ben to have like a Ben Moore character in tabletop.
Yeah,
So,
I
like, hosting
absolutely dream of
tabletop.
being a DM sometimes.
For Ben, I just want Ben to be able to like sit back and relax and
Yeah,
like,
I've actually thought of this too, like doing an exhibition match where like one of us DMs and Ben can actually play, just for like
Yeah.
a one-off or something.
It'd
Yeah.
probably have to be you, Ian, to be DM.
I guess, yeah.
I
I mean,
want
but
a,
if Kyle wants to, you could do it too.
I want a Jones solo easy anime.
Yeah, it's just me talking about it.
Just Jones by
Dude,
himself.
I would
Yeah.
love a
I'll
blood
do
solo
a
easy
cup of
anime.
Jones about anime. How about that?
Will you
Okay.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only exclusively
If
about
that's something more than one person would want, like yeah.
Will it be more than just anime? Ah.
Well, that's the thing, and I think that's what's nice about establishing this ahead of time is if like I didn't tell Damiani I was going to do that, and then just showed up one stream was like, oh, Damiani, like that's not nice, It's like
Right.
if we work on that ahead of time and people know, and it's obvious like, oh, they did a thing, they swapped, like. So if people knew that ahead of time, that like, okay, this is why I'm watching Jones sit in a chair talking about anime. But if I just stumbled across it and I was like, why is this jerk like wasting my time right now, my precious YouTube time?
We should plan a week and call it Bizarro Week.
Bizarro,
where like in Easy Update or something, we have a narrative reason that all of us swap shows. Like I've got a bunch of ideas for like alternate universe episodes, and this could be one of them.
But that'd be rad too for like one of my full playthroughs, like to have somebody just come in and just do one episode, like one chapter of my full, Red Dead, like was Huber. Like it was just
Yeah.
like I would, and like Huber played and we talked. Like I'm not even there. Like it's just
Yeah,
Huber
yeah.
played, like
It's
Oh
like
my
him
God.
and Amanda.
Yes, spouse quest.
Jones, I would love for you to take my place in one of the Kingdom Hearts streams.
Yeah, that'd be
Just
rad.
see how you do.
Dead serious though. Like I know
Yeah,
say
dead
one
serious.
disparaging word about it. Just like, oh, it's my favorite scene.
We got it. If we swap, we got to nail people's starts though. Everyone has
sure.
like these different little habits for when they start.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Damiani like starts talking before the cameras go live. It's still on the
Yeah.
we're coming soon screen.
If you're here, just go biscuits and gravy.
Brad's kind of the opposite. Brad will turn on the camera and like it'll be a while before he starts talking to anyone. He's like, "Hey, Brad."
Let it settle in.
The slow roll.
Yeah.
And then Kyle always has his little, clean start, whether it's the turnaround or the meditation or whatever.
Our final question for the day, this is going to be our cutoff point here, is from Kira. Hey, allies, Kira here. As most of you know, I love baking cookies, primarily the white chocolate ones. However, I'd like to broaden my cookie horizons, which brings me to my next question. What is your favorite cookie? If you don't have a favorite cookie, favorite baked good works as well.
Let's let Huber go first so we can split.
I have to have 2 cookies when I get cookies. I like bouncing back and forth with a classic chocolate chip. Got the classic chocolate, and accompanied by a snickerdoodle. The combo.
It's a good cookie.
Is so good because you get the chocolate, you get the non-chocolate. It's so good.
Mike, rate my mom's snickerdoodles.
10.
Real quick. 10?
10.
Okay.
Yes. Any mother baked goods, any baked good, like if you're taking the time to bake some cookies, they're a 10. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
You're slaving away in the kitchen, putting them in the oven.
hard to criticize. To criticize. for sure.
Very hard to criticize.
Huber, what are you streaming, by the way?
Streaming Too Dark.
Nice.
Never played it from the creator of the original Alone in the Dark.
Too freaky,
Ah.
dude. Too freaky.
So we'll see how it goes.
Huber, really, really, really quick. I finished Little Nightmares, and I am on Blood's side that you should totally play it. Super
Nice.
Oh, if you haven't,
I don't know if I want a full
one.
playthrough or not because I still want a full playthrough Outlast with Kyle
cool.
sometimes.
Nice.
So I don't know. All right, dudes.
All
See you,
right.
Mike.
Thanks,
All right,
Huber.
man. Thank you guys. Love you.
Love you too. My favorite my favorite ever was my mom used to make these brownies with caramel in them, and like I don't know what she was doing, but they were really great. So chocolate caramel, but also ginger snap cookies are good for a cookie. But yeah, chocolate caramel is I have to take like 9 dairy pills to eat them, but like when we go to Milk Jar, they have an amazing pecan chocolate caramel cookie that just like, oh my god, pass out. Make it pass out.
Nice.
Hot, soft peanut butter cookies.
That's my favorite cookie,
that is
Kyle.
a good one.
Kyle,
If your
we're,
peanut butter cookie is crunchy, that's a 1.
That is
Toss it.
bros.
Yeah,
We're cookie bros now for life.
cookie bros.
I like white chocolate macadamia.
Yeah.
A lot. A lot.
I was gonna say that, but then I thought of something a little bit better.
Thanks, Jones.
Just for,
Oh.
just for me, just personally. Just for me.
Yeah.
What do you got,
Well, I
Joe?
thought of that, but then I was like,
Yeah, Jones thinks
I'm all
Ben is trash.
excited about it, but it doesn't count because I said that I personally thought of something different. well, let me put it this way: year round, 11 months a year, white chocolate macadamia nut. But there's just something about Christmas cookies, man. There's something I just love. Like I love all of the different crazy stuff that people put on Christmas cookies. So like those, just like multicolored sugar, really thin like sugar cookies.
Okay. I was like, that's a very
I
broad
I
term.
cannot stop eating those every single year.
Yeah.
Just like-
I always like a good like classic oatmeal raisin. There are definitely some that do it
Wholesome.
wrong, but
Wholesome.
yeah, some good ones.
It's a good
And
cookie.
then the Girl Scout Samoas.
yeah, good call.
Oh,
Pretty good.
Samoas!
Yeah.
I will say avoid Springele. It's like a German cookie that like my dad's side of the family always has at Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's vile. It tastes like
It's like gingerbread,
got-
right?
no, it's got like anise in it, so it's like black licorice. Makes me want
Ugh.
to die. Oh boy.
Ugh.
Yeah, for some reason, there are German Christmas cookies that kind of go on sale like around the time of Gamescom. Like, I don't know why in August people start selling Christmas cookies. And so friends there like It's like, hey, I got Christmas cookies, and like I tried them, like I did
No.
not like them at all.
Yeah, run.
Great bread though.
Run, don't walk. Away
Um,
from Springula.
For me, it's they have two different names, but I guess actually technically slightly different. I call them black and whites, the black and white cookies, but there's a slightly different variation called half moon cookie. So it's basically just a circular cookie with one side is black frosting, one is white. I used to get them a lot when I was a kid from my parents when we lived in New York. And then when we moved to Texas, it would be any time we went to a deli, a New York style deli, they would have them there. And I would always like when we'd leave, I'd be like, oh, okay, please get one of those. And my mom always knew, so she'd always have it for me. She's like, here you go. I was like, yes.
Nice.
I haven't had one of those in years though, but they were good.
Nice. We're ending on cookies. That's going to be the last question
It's a good crunch.
today. That is a good crunch.
But don't crunch if your cookies are crunchy,
You're doing it wrong.
right? Throw them right in the trash.
Are good.
Yeah, they're good. They're good ones.
The sugar
Snaps
cookie.
you
Those
want.
are crunchy.
Oreos, I guess.
Yeah. A
Okay.
soggy Oreo, not good.
Fair
Not
enough.
good. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Again, if you want to write in a question that we will potentially get to on the patron Q&A, that's for $20 and up patrons. We do those every month, the last Saturday of the month. We do them at noon from noon to 2 p.m. If you want to check that out. Thank you so much, other allies. There's Sophie joining us at the end. Hi,
Yay.
Sophie.
Yay.
But yeah, that's going to do it for us. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.